Have you ever seen someone walk into a room and just know they don't belong? That's the feeling anyone would have had about Anna Vance the second she stepped inside the Iron Sights range. She wasn't wearing the right gear, didn't have a fancy rifle case. There was only her worn beige shirt, and an old black fabric backpack. The air smelled sharp, like gunpowder and steel, and every so often a loud crack would echo through the place. A few heads turned her way. They weren't mean looks, not exactly. It was that little smirk people get when they think they've got you all figured out. She just kept her head down and found an empty lane in the back. From her bag, she pulled out her rifle. It wasn't new or tactical. The stock was worn smooth, looked like it had seen a few decades. At the front counter, she heard a man whisper to his buddy, though not quietly enough. Looks like she brought a museum piece. They both had a good laugh over that. She heard them, but she didn't give them a reaction. Her hands were steady as she loaded the first few rounds. She knew places like this. More importantly, she knew people like this. The first shot she fired cut through the air, clean and sharp. A perfect little hole, dead center in the target. Most of them didn't notice. But the guy in the next lane did. He leaned over, a smirk on his face. "Nice shot, Grandma," he said, loud enough for his friends to hear. She didn't even look at him. She just chambered another round. The second shot landed right next to the first. A perfect bullseye. Let them talk. The whispers started to grow behind her. She heard a woman say to her friend, "Thinks she knows what she's doing? Probably watched a video online." Anna just kept her focus. Breathe in, exhale, pull. One hole after another, all clustered together in the center. That's when the range manager noticed the small crowd gathering. He walked over, his smile a little too forced. "You new here?" he asked, his voice louder than it needed to be. She just nodded. "First time?" He chuckled, like he didn't believe it. "Well, we're having a little friendly competition today. You're welcome to sign up. You know, for fun." There it was, the challenge disguised as a friendly offer. She set her rifle down, the safety on. "Maybe," she said, her voice quiet. He just smiled that tight little smile and walked off, already dismissing her. But as she walked to the front, she saw the sign-up sheet. Just a few names, all of them regulars. The kind of guys who walk around like they've already won. For a second, she hesitated. She hadn't competed since the Army, hadn't really touched this rifle in almost 3 years. "You don't have to prove anything," she told herself. Then she heard him again. The guy in the flannel shirt, muttering to his friends, "Bet she can't even hit the broadside of a barn." That was it. She grabbed the pen and wrote her name, Anna Vance, right at the bottom of the list. The manager took the clipboard back. "You sure about that, ma'am?" he asked, like he was doing her a favor just by letting me play. "I'm sure," she said. He just shrugged. "All right, we'll call your name when it's your turn." As she walked back to her lane to check her rifle one last time, she could feel the air in the room beginning to change. To Anna, the battered rifle felt like an old friend. As she wiped down the scope, an older woman with salt and pepper hair paused at the lane beside her. She was one of the few who hadn't been smirking. "You any good, honey?" she asked in a low voice. Anna gave a half smile. "Used to be," the woman chuckled kindly. "Well, sometimes used to be is just sleeping. Not gone." Anna nodded, holding on to that thought. The intercom crackled. "All right, folks, gather around. Competition's about to start." The energy in the room shifted. As Anna closed her eyes, for just a second, she could almost smell the dust of Afghanistan and hear the old commands in an earpiece. A bone-deep ache from a life she'd left behind. When she opened her eyes, there was only a paper target, clean and still, waiting 100 yards away. A young employee called the first name. "Jason Weller, you're up." Jason, the man in the flannel shirt, winked at Anna as he walked past. "Watch and learn, sweetheart." He put on a little show, his shots ringing out fast and loud. Decent accuracy, but nothing special. The regulars clapped as he strutted back, high-fiving his friends. A few more shooters took their turns. Then the name cut through the chatter. "Anna Vance!" The room didn't go silent, but the noise dipped. Anna stood up, her boots making small, steady sounds on the concrete as she walked to the line. "Bet she doesn't even know how to load it," Jason laughed to his buddies. Anna ignored them. She set her rifle down, adjusted the scope, and settled into her stance. It was pure muscle memory, automatic from years she tried not to think about. The rules were simple. 5 shots, moving targets, points for speed and accuracy. "Whenever you're ready," the employee called out. Anna took a slow breath, and the world tunneled in. The noise, the smirks, it all faded away. The first target zipped out. She squeezed the trigger, one shot, dead center. The second target jerked upward. Another shot, straight through. By the third shot, the range was quiet. No more jokes, no more snickers. Fourth, fifth. Every bullet found its mark with an effortless grace that looked almost unreal. When she finished, Anna clicked the safety on and stepped away from the booth as if she were just setting down a cup of coffee. No smile, no celebration. The manager cleared his throat. Highest score so far, he mumbled, staring at the digital display. It showed a near-perfect score. Jason's mouth was hanging open. His buddies suddenly found the scuff marks on their boots fascinating. Anna didn't gloat. She simply picked up her rifle and headed for the benches without looking at anyone. The next few shooters went, but no one was really watching them anymore. Every missed shot just made the silence in the room feel heavier. The people who had laughed before now watched Anna from the corners of their eyes, their mockery replaced with a strange, uncomfortable awe. Jason sat stiffly, his jaw clenched. He kept glancing at Anna, trying to figure out what he'd just witnessed. A woman who had been whispering earlier walked up to Anna, hesitantly holding out a cup of coffee. "You want one?" she asked. Anna looked up, offered a polite smile, and shook her head. "Thanks, but I'm good." The woman scurried away, her cheeks red. She hadn't offered coffee to anyone else. The real silence in the room was just beginning, and it was louder than any gunshot. The leaderboard behind the counter told the whole story. A neat column of scores, with one name sitting at the very top, Anna Vance. It was a clean, cold fact staring everyone in the face. The manager walked to the center of the room. "All right," he said, trying to sound cheerful. "Looks like our winner today is Anna Vance." He clapped a little too quickly. A few others joined in, but the applause was awkward, hesitant. Anna walked forward to claim her prize, a gift card and a cheap plastic trophy. She gave a small nod and tucked them into her backpack like they were groceries. As she turned, someone from the back, one of Jason's friends, muttered just loud enough for people to hear. "She must have gotten lucky." Anna stopped and turned her head slightly. For the first time, her voice cut across the room, clear and cold. "Luck doesn't group shots like that." This time, nobody laughed. The crowd thinned out fast after that. Some people offered Anna awkward nods as they slipped past, unsure how to approach her. She took her time, wiping down her rifle with slow, deliberate movements. Jason lingered by the lockers, pretending to search his bag. Finally, he walked over. "You military?" he asked, his voice tight. Anna didn't look up from her work. "Something like that. You shoot like someone who's been doing it a long time." She finally met his eyes. There was no anger there, just a steady calm. "Long enough," she said. Jason opened his mouth, but something in her expression told him not to ask any more questions. "Good shooting," he mumbled, before turning and walking away. As Anna packed her rifle away, the kind older woman from earlier passed by and gave her a small wink. "Told ya," she said softly. "Sleeping, not gone." For the first time all day, a real smile touched Anna's lips. She swung the backpack over her shoulder and headed for the parking lot. The afternoon sun baked the asphalt. As she reached her beat-up blue Honda, the manager came jogging up behind her. "Ma'am," he panted, "you ever think about competing professionally? We've got connections, big money tournaments." Anna unlocked her car door. "Not interested," she said politely. "Are you sure? With your skill?" She shook her head, sliding into the driver's seat. "I didn't come here to prove anything to anybody." She started the engine, and as she pulled away, the shooting range grew smaller in her rearview mirror until it vanished. She was just another person on the road, carrying the weight of a life most people could never understand. She wasn't angry at the people back there. How could they know her story? The years spent where every shot mattered. The promises she had to make in the silence afterward. They only saw what was right in front of them. But she knew the truth. Real strength doesn't always look like armor. And true skill, the kind you earn, doesn't need permission from anyone to exist. At a red light, Anna watched a father helping his young daughter learn to ride a bike. The girl wobbled and he caught her, both of them laughing. Anna smiled to herself, a quiet, genuine smile. Then the light turned green and she drove on. She'd done enough fighting to last a lifetime. Now all she wanted was the quiet life she had built for herself. She turned the corner, heading toward home. Her small apartment with its creaky floors, the overgrown plant on the balcony, and the book she'd left half-finished on the kitchen table. In the back seat, the cheap plastic trophy rattled with every bump in the road, already forgotten. That little piece of plastic wasn't the prize she was taking home. It was the feeling she carried with her. That quiet, steady fire she'd almost forgotten was there, now rekindled and burning bright. If this story resonated with you, Feel free to share it with someone who might appreciate the message that the quietest people often carry the greatest power. Because in the end, the most important thing is to be steady, be true, and never forget who you are.